stage. Just like even sleep is basically a service, because you're sleeping for Krishna, so that next day we can be ready to serve Krishna better. So to step out of book distribution, I also felt it's some sort of a service, because during all this time, the meditation definitely goes how to continue to expand the mission through distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books. In the case somebody of you has so many questions, you can interrupt, and that's also welcome. So, book distribution is all auspicious, is eternal service, is service that 100% can guarantee you not only fast advancement. We don't really want fasting, because meaning fast in the modern world, we just think it's something passionate, but it really gives us a solid impact in our spiritual life. One can get more deeper, one can really become more purified, more open to receive the mercy. And through engaging our body, mind, and senses in book distribution, we really do good work to ourselves. But book distribution is not only some individual. It does helps us individually, but also helps the whole community. It helps whole world. The whole world, by massive book distribution, can change. I have noticed that even people, if they don't read books, if they just keep books in their houses, the whole atmosphere in the world is upgraded. Just like I have here AC, just a little bit above me, and I can feel slowly it's cooling me. So by keeping books in the houses, people, even if they don't read their books, they have influence on them. So these books are working very mysteriously on various levels. It's not necessary that everyone has to read and become a devotee, but we just allow ourselves to be instruments in Srila Prabhupada's master plan, because we can't say that we know better than Srila Prabhupada. And if we could simply follow the few instructions that somehow or other that we should just give books out, that we can just spend some time, any service we do, just spend some time to get in touch with people, to have that experience of soul to soul. When we give book to somebody, the relationship is soul to soul, and it's something really, it's the only reality, because everything else is just mind involved. But when we have to surrender in book distribution and we're touching the souls, we are actually touching the reality. Personally, if I wouldn't be doing books all these years, I really don't know how I would understand Krishna consciousness and all this philosophy, and this will all just be too abstract, not too unpractical, really. But by somehow following the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, the Lord, I felt Lord's involvement in my life. I felt that at every step, I'm totally sheltered. Although sometimes I'm in some difficult places, but at that time, I just feel a total connection with Srila Prabhupada. And that's really convincing, more than philosophy, because you can really experience it now. So just to show to Krishna that we really said yes to Krishna and step out of the comfort zone. In fact, when the discomfort becomes comfort, then that's really nice. That's Krishna consciousness. And when our comfort becomes discomfort, then I think that's a good measurement that we're doing the right thing. When we have lots of opposition, we can understand that we are doing the right thing because Maya is not agreeing with our ideas, no. So it's also a sort of a measurement how much we have actually surrendered to the Lord. Unfortunately, the word surrender is not very famous recently. when I joined Krishna consciousness in Salem, then we all wanted to become pure devotees. Now this word is not so used. Now, if you're a leader, then you're good, you know, some manager. But to be a sadhu, it's not really something that, in general, not nothing really special. You just, that's why personally I had to always be a little bit on side. Not to, if I would just be too much in the mainstream, I probably wouldn't be doing book distribution, because all the time there is some opposition. And this is so strange to hear, you know, that things that we are supposed to do, we are just by some devotees. Some devotees would tell me that you find the job. No. It's really strange. But I never felt anything is lacking in my life. I feel that Srila Prabhupada had put me under his wing. And Srila Prabhupada also did say, if you take care of my books, I take care of you. So when I did left ashram, brahmachari ashram, I did have for 1 month a little bit uncertainty. What's going to happen now? You get married, you know, how I'm going to continue. But within 1 month, everything was back on track. And life was transcendental and continues to be transcendental, because the only goal and the only thing is how to participate in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And through doing sacrifice and austerity, we will always feel bliss and ecstasy. And there will never be some sadness or major problems. But as soon as devotees stop, you know, doing austerities, everything becomes very slackened. Past 10 years, I've been traveled to at least 40 countries around the world doing books. And I've seen personally that wherever books are going on, all the devotees are happy. Everything comes. As well as Lakshmi Devi, you don't have to have a heavy management structure. You just go out, do some sacrifice, and everything is managed itself. And wherever there are people, I mean, the devotees, and even if it's a big temple and whatever, even if they have 108 life members, if there is no book distribution, it's such a sad bunch, you know, it's just so sad to see devotees. It's just like not the movement that you joined. So I personally feel that we should all continue doing book distribution, even if we are at any stage in life. It's not that I'm doing only books just to maintain the enthusiasm. I do all kinds of services. I cook, I do puja, I do yagya, taking care of people. And that's very good, because if you're just doing one thing, you more or less, you isolate yourself. You do isolate yourself. You may also feel that you're doing better than the others. And also you can never appreciate other devotees' service. So personally, I do everything. But all that is just supportive to me to get blessings and have healthy relationship with devotees, to go out and do books. Before I would do 6 hours, and let's say 100 books. I do now 1 hour, 1.5, 2 hours, and do also 100 books. So with the time, we just, I cannot say we will ever become expert, because it's not material. But we could say we could become expert via media, instruments, through which we will see that people are buying books which they don't want. You didn't say anything in particular, and they simply buy the books, and you're just witnessing. It's totally mysterious. I'm so much interested in that, to see that Krishna is really a person and that he really interferes now. And through this sacrifice, we are attracting his attention. And that's really what we need to do, something extra. Srila Prabhupada said, whatever you do it big. So that should be motto of all of us. And every one of us should actually be able to do all services, everything, not just stick to one. Of course, in the beginning, I was also only books. Books took me some time to get that frame to instill in my mind, because it's the most demanding thing, and that's why the mind would reject it the easiest. So it took me some time. to just imbibe this as a lifestyle, just to always keep the books with me and any opportunity to offer. But we should all be experts in doing other things. No? So in that way, we can feel we are part of a whole scale team of a master plan of Srila Prabhupada to flood the world with Krishna consciousness. There is in America, there in Florida, is a place where they're launching these rockets that they're going to different places. If they go, we don't know. But then the president came to the toilet and there was a sweeper in the toilet. And sweeper was sweeping very enthusiastically. The president said, "Wow, you're such a good sweeper. You know, what makes you so enthusiastic?" And he said, "I'm not a sweeper." He said, "I'm a part of a team who is going to land on the moon." So every one of us has to have this same consciousness. We may not be maybe psychophysically ready to do books on a daily basis for months, years, or decades. But whatever we do, every step, it's meant for that. Because it's not material. Book distribution is not something that we are selling books, get some money. It's just a total revolution, just like going behind the curtain and doing a deep work. It's very subtle. So people will change. We just flood the world with the books and people will change. The other day, a boy came, stopped me here in a temple, and he started to shout, "Hey, that's him, that's him." I'm thinking what's going on, you know. It was a heavy with somebody 10 years ago. So he's back on my case, you know. He said, you came to my village, somewhere in Rajpur or something, in Rajasthan. And I gave him a small book, Gyan Ki Talwar and Krishna Ki Or. Oh, and what's that? Krishna Ki Or, On the Way to Krishna. And Gyan Ki Talwar is Sword of Knowledge. And he and his friend, I gave him a book, and I gave him a Brahmacharya book of Bhakti Vikas Swami, as well as one CD of Srila Prabhupada. And 13 people became devotees from that. So that's really rewarding, you know. And we don't know how many people we benefited. I would say that there are at least 5 times more people who read the books, and in the heart, they really accepted philosophy, but they just need some time to take up the practice, you know, of Krishna consciousness. So whatever we do in Krishna consciousness, it should really be for publishing and distribution of Srila Prabhupada books, and that will rise the atmosphere in the whole world. People will change. And we don't need everybody to become devotee. That's not possible at any way, but people will become favorable to us. And that's good enough so that we can have some society, that we can have influence, and people will come and take shelter and take advices from us. They will see that we are a different people. Prabhupada says that there are 3 stages in Hare Krishna movement. In the first stage, we have opposition. In the second stage, we have people are mocking us, you know, laughing at Hare Krishna. And in the third stage, people are going to seek shelter from us. So we don't have to worry about that. No, it's everything already designed like that. We just have to take part in that. So if you have other services to do, which is probably the case everywhere, because we are expanding and have large temples, you can just go out for some time. As a people go out for gym, and people go out for cinema, or people go here and there. Our sport is to go out for 1 hour, 2 hours. And that's wonderful sport. These are the Hare Krishna sports. We go out and we play books. You know, this is our sport. And if you feel that you're tired and you're hungry after your job, as soon as you start to do books, you'll just be connected with the transcendental potency. You will forget your pains, you'll forget your tiredness, you'll forget that you're hungry, and you'll forget to come home for dinner because you'll feel so blissful outside. And if we don't experience this transcendental potency and working through us, our Krishna consciousness will be really poor. Really, it will be very poor. It will be just like a shadow, and we will just see it intellectually. It's not going really deep into the heart, unless we have a personal experience that that Krishna is, acting through me, that Krishna is interfering in my life, that Krishna every day, changes people's mind. So that's very wonderful. No? And in India especially, Prabhupada is emphasizing that, of course, Chaitanya Charitamrita as well. But Prabhupada is saying that India will have special role in Krishna consciousness movement. And we see the turmoils all around, and India is somehow still, at least culturally, standing on its legs. So we have to work for that, because Prabhupada went to the West to get the foreigners, to come to India, to uplift India. And India is really going to come up so much. You see how much yagya is being done here. So many devotees, so much chanting, must come something wonderful from that. So our sacrifices are very difficult. We don't have facility. We don't have manpower. We don't have finance or whatever. We don't have strength. We are already getting old, but we are working for the future generations. And that's our sacrifice. We don't have to desire to have some comfortable life, although we will have, because it's true that the Krishna always gives us more than we have, but we don't aspire from that. We don't meditate on that. I never think about book distribution. I just do every service. Whatever I do that service. Once I come out, 5 minutes before I start, I just put the bag on the floor and I just concentrate. I offer prayers and I start doing. Books are finished, next service. So there is no need to be unhealthy, obsessed. We have to be healthy in a society that we can do all other things. And then becomes very normal, becomes very natural. But of course, it does take time. I was also for 10 years very tense, it just nothing else existed in the world, only books. But for the long time, for long-term books, we need to change a little bit our consciousness and try to go more deeper into understanding what's actually going on, what's happening with this book distribution. And of course, while reading Srila Prabhupada books, we just get empowered. By submission, empowerment comes. I'm particularly now trying to do some japa, tapa, and vrata. I'm going to Govardhan every day. And I see how by walking around that hill, it just like hill has unlimited potency to bless thousands of people who come there. And I see it not different from Prabhupada, because it's just creating a good fortune in life of everybody who comes in the contact with that hill. But the same with Prabhupada books. We are doing the people the greatest favor. They may not like us. They may look at us with envy. I haven't seen, a healthy smile in China, never. They just looked at you like, who are you? Why you came here? This is India. This is dirty place. This is a religion. Just such an envious stare at me every day that you really, after coming from books, I need to take bath and I need to chant, I need to read a lot to recover from all that subtle energies that they're so degraded, But that's how we get the ticket, we can say. I can't say I got the ticket, but we do get a ticket by doing these things, by performing devotional service in a difficult circumstances. Just like, who was the Lakshman Bharat. Bharat was example, according to Vedanta Deshika's commentary. He is example of performing devotional service in difficult circumstances because he remained in Ayodhya and he was accused by the people of Ayodhya that he was involved in banishing Ram to the forest. So even he left and lived outside of Ayodhya in that small village and worship Ram's padukas and lived under the ground so that he's not on the same platform as Ram and eat just barley and urine of cow and all these things. When he would go and take bath in Sarai, people were throwing stones on him. So this is our situation. No place is really favorable in material world. Occasionally we get a little sunny day, but it's basically a struggle. But if we take shelter of holy name, if we serve the devotees, if you're having a broad vision of whole society, of our contribution, then it becomes easy. We get empowerment. We submit our lives to Krishna, to Prabhupada, to the devotees we love, whether that's authority, guru, anyone. But from the submission, we will get empowerment. There is no any, how to say, technique. Many times devotees ask that, what is the technique? No technique. The technique is 5%. It's the desire. I'm going on the Govardhan Hill. I'm 110 kg. I think I'm the only 110 kg XXL Wala going around Govardhan every day, because all others are skinny, you know. And then you see the people, they come 8 o'clock in the evening and they finish next morning, 5, 6, it takes them 10, 12 hours, all these families with the bags, you know, and for them it's like a whole festival. We used to go to Luna Park, Disneyland, you know, football, but they go to Govardhan, you know, such a great fortune. So, and they have a difficulty because it's a material desire. They want Beta to get married, they want Lala to go to Delhi, and they have material desire. But it's not physical. Walking around Govardhan is just a desire. It works on a desire. So book distribution is saying we have to refine our intention, our attitude, and we have to constantly talk. Just like Bhagavad Gita says, Bodhayanta Parasma, we have to talk amongst ourselves every day about books, every day. The group who is doing book distribution, they have to talk every day about book distribution and have all these kinds of festivals and things like that. And then we are not losing any more energy. When our desire is purified, we exactly know what we are doing, we can go on whole life and we can die on the street. There is no impediment outside. In China, for me, police was never impediment. Or anything. It was just for myself and my home. That was the biggest thing that was destroying me and taking my energy. But that outside, Krishna always does something. One time I got caught by police on the railway station. It's a huge railway station, the biggest railway station in the world. You can't imagine how it looks like. And the people generally report to police. So somebody reported me to police, foreigner is there doing something, they came, they caught me. And 5 policemen brought me in the police station there. I just chanted, Shri Nisimha, Jai Nisimha, Jaya Jaya Nisimha Dev. I just chant like that, like a madman, but I was totally in. It was real. I can't say it now because I would be pretending. But that time was real because it's mercy of the Lord that protects me. And I'm chanting that. And after 5 minutes or so, these 5 policemen, one Mataji was there, the lady policeman, they just started to quarrel amongst themselves. They quarrel. They don't know to speak much English. So they come to me and say, you here, never again, out. I said, first, give me books. They gave books and I went out. It's amazing. It's a miracle. How does this happen? Just because unlimited mercy of Lord Chaitanya for if we step out of the comfort zone. So desire. We have to have really set up the goals now and see our identity in the movement of Lord Chaitanya. We have to know who we are, what are we doing, what's our contribution, how long, with whom, where, when. We need to think about that. Krishna is a person. If we change our mind every day, he's confused. I mean, he's not confused. I'm just saying, you know, one day we pray one thing, another day another thing. So he doesn't know what to do with us. But we need to keep one thing in the mind for a long, long time. Just like Ayurveda, takes long time. Little medicine, regular, long time, and it works. There are these ships, you know. There is an American submarine who goes for 24 years on a 1 kg of uranium. Uranium, that's that nuclear, no? 1 kg. Whereas you have a petrol ships, they have a huge tanks for, you know, a few tons just to cross Atlantic now. So you see how much is the difference between uranium and the petrol. So we should be like a uranium. The uranium is like a desire. you know. We have to have that desire, and that will give us potency to move the mountains and do miracles. No, we don't do, but Krishna does through us. We allow ourselves because we are attached to suffering. We don't want bliss. If bliss comes, we just step away. We are attached to suffer, but we just have to jump in the fire and enjoy that feeling. Krishna is going to wait for me down. You know? He is a cooling. He's a cooling place there. And we need to have a little bit trust, and just try it again and again and again. And if it doesn't work, who cares? Anyway, Krishna is giving the results. It doesn't count whether you gave book or no. It's Krishna who is giving the results, giving sanction that somebody buys a book. But we get purified by doing that. So book distribution is basically Bhagavad Gita in a very practical way. And book distribution means Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all in one. So it's really a thorough cleaning and a thorough understanding of philosophy that after doing that, I don't know who and what can convince us that God is not there, that Prabhupada is not ultimate Acharya for this age, and what else not. No. So it's really worth of trying. It's worth of trying, and we should not waste time. Sometimes we can go out. If not once a day for 1-2 hours, sometimes we should go out just to touch, to get in that tuning, get in that energy that you feel as if you're plugged to something, that you can feel that it's a transcendence. No? So as I said, that I'm doing other services to be able to appreciate other devotees, no? Not to isolate myself. Every other devotee who is doing other services, whether it's in the kitchen, in the Goshala, or maintenance of temple, should go out to understand what Prabhupada was doing, what Prabhupada wanted us to get that feeling that it's transcendental. It's beyond, it's a chintya, how to say, it's a chintya. So like that, nothing but much about the techniques, dear devotees. It's just a desire and prayers. Allow Prabhupada, allow me to taste that. Prabhupada, I want to be recognized by the Lord. If you're giving me so much, I'm unable to do it. I'm hearing for many years. I'm seeing the other devotees, but I'm so fallen. I just want to please you. Please allow me. You know, give me. Prabhupada is praying also. Please give me words that they can enter in the ears of these people and they can understand my message. Some time ago, there was also another president of America, and one boy. There were elections, and one boy in the campus, or college campus, was waving with the hand where it was a big hand, like a victory with American flag. And this came out in the news, and Mr. President has seen this boy jumping, and he said, I want that boy for dinner or lunch or whatever. And somehow they found him, that boy, and they brought him to Mr. President such and such. And he got the dinner. Now this is what we are doing. We are swimming in a stool, and we are showing to Krishna that we are ready to eat stool, just so that he can see we said yes for Krishna. We are tormented by material desires. We may do nonsense things, but spiritual life, it's only between us and Krishna, and nothing can stop us. So we have to try for that. We have to target for high, and we'll get, because Krishna always gives more than we expect. We'll get that experience. So how much time I have? Go, Bhagavan.
You can continue some more time, Prabhu, no problem.
You have some question there?
Okay, let me see. 1 minute. Any questions?
Tell us about China particularly.
Gokul Prabhu is saying if you can just tell us more about China.
Yeah, I wanted to forget about China.
Okay, last time you can remember and then forget.
Yeah, well, it's very difficult to say about China unless we've been in China, as it's for other things, but it's a subterranean heaven. It's Birla Svarga. people are so much materially progressed, but they're demons in heart, they're rakshasas. The people deprived from God. There is no God. It's difficult for you to believe that or understand because you come out of the temple and every rickshawala has something is there, you know. So for me, coming to India is Vaikuntha, you know. Everything is something, you know, even devatas, oh, wonderful. But China is just Mahatama. It's a very difficult place. But I had indications before I go to China that I was waiting for a year and a half, thinking and preparing how I would like to go there. I tried many places and it was wonderful. Been to Vietnam, Cuba, Morocco, Egypt, Turkey, Mongolia, Iran, and I loved it. I loved that feeling of being there in trouble for the pleasure of Prabhupada. And only China was remaining. So anyway, there is something esoteric. I don't know if I should say that or not. But I got the confirmations I should go there. So I went there and it was wonderful in the beginning. I can tell you for the first time in my life, I was doing books just because people needed that. There was no competition between me and Gadadhar Krishna Prabhu and Madhav Krishna Prabhu, who is going to distribute more books in evening railway station in Bangalore. There was no competition about, there was no, I need Lakshmi to go to India and, you know, all these things. I was there for the people. And it was a wonderful experience. Of course, with the time that went down, I became busy with many other things and it became rough. And I didn't have association at any time. I was there with young devotees, new people are coming, but it's always you, a senior devotee, a thing which I hate the most. If I would be on a class now with you in Salem, I would be there on the wall back, leaning on the back. And Gokuchana Prabhu will say, why you're leaving you? It's Ananta Shesha. Yeah, no, like that. So it was so difficult for me. I didn't have friends with whom to talk. I didn't have peers. I didn't have seniors. It became very rough. And here I learned how important it is to have authority and how much fortunate is one to have some guidance, spiritual guidance, whether that's your temple leader, a devotee sleeping next to you, or anyone to whom you can disclose your mind, because it's so important to have someone that you can express your shortcomings. Not that you are always a senior devotee and people think you are faultless, you are not human, you are superhuman, you can do anything. It's just so I suffered a lot. And if it didn't happen what happened, I would already also anyway, I was just expiring. I was feeling it's too much. So this is one thing I realized there, that it's so important to have juniors, peers, and seniors around yourself if you want to be happy, healthy in our spiritual life. No? And then, yeah, because of books, the people started to come that I didn't know what to do with them. I couldn't ask anyone help. No one could be trained because they work all the time. You couldn't get full-time people so that they can take off of other people. And it's just on the strength of the sacrifice. It's really like that. Very few came from books directly, but the facilities were just opening more and more. You know, you keep on fire going, you just add wood every little bit, you add wood to the fire, fire blazes. It just miracles happening, facilities, material facilities, people, anything I needed, it was just on the disposal, and it was so much extra. And I went mad. It was too much for me. I'm not that person. You know, I just wanted to do books. And I felt I had argument with Krishna. I'm joking, if I can say it like that. I don't want that, you know. But, you know, and I understood, hey, you're doing book distribution just because it sends gratification for you. Now you have a test. Now you come the result of your book distribution. You have people. Now that's what you have to do. I was arguing all the time. So it was hard time. You know, I'm so much attached to that. And I realized it's not good. Even if it's service for the Lord, There was clear and obvious that the people are coming. That's the second step. I have to go there. So I managed somehow, and I was managing all these years for few. I would go out 5:30 in the morning. I catch the first train, go to the railway station, and 6:35 I start books, and 7:45 I end up 10 Gitas and 10 signs every day, same time, same, every day, same. It was just like so steady, and it was just. It's amazing. I couldn't believe that I could get so much mercy. I couldn't believe that this is going through me, that I'm so steady. I'm just restless. I'm just being carried on the modes of nature, particularly passion. But desire made miracles. No. So then, just in the very beginning, no. And we were reading in one island in Croatia, Bhagavad Gita, and came to that purport where Prabhupada is explaining about the sparrow, how the sparrow, the ocean has taken the eggs from the sparrow, and sparrow lamented. And because of that, the Garuda, the brother, came and helped the sparrow. I saw myself in that. China is a huge, and I didn't know what impact will it have. I didn't have doubt, but I knew it just so small, and I never had the audience to listen about book distribution. Nobody's interested in that. People think you are crazy. People think you are, ISKCON devotee. We don't do that because this is not allowed, and we don't do that. So it was just so tight. And then I felt that Sparrow is the best example for me. I prayed a lot. I was going out for book distribution. I was thinking I'm going for prayer, because it's so intense to come out amongst these people, and security is everywhere, police is everywhere. It's like taking a deep breath, like doing books, and then when you finish, you just. So I felt my health is going so bad. I was feeling it's destroying me inside, so much anxiety. And then Krishna gave just some extra mercy. And one day I met a person who, it was, I think, Prabhupada Marathon or something. And I asked him that I want to print Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, Gopi Gita Mataji translated. And we didn't have money. And I asked him, and he said immediately yes. And I said, and you know what? And I talk about Prabhupada, and I said that Prabhupada wanted these books to be in all the libraries. And the man gave me cash for 100 Bhagavatam sets. Bhagavatam set is China is the most expensive. It would be like 35,000 rupees is a set, and it's incomplete, 9 cantos. So I got the cash on the spot, I couldn't believe. How can somebody give me on the spot cash? No, never see me. So I was in bliss. I understood that's the real result of the prayer. The Garuda has come, and the hit for the red China is about to happen. And the first hit happened. I couldn't sleep for 7 days. And these sets were going out all over China, even entering into Tibet, which is a prohibited area. Even mobile phone doesn't go there. Xinjiang, the Muslim camps, even there they entered. So I was, I was getting mad. I was thinking, I want more of this. And I called these people in the libraries, and I asked them to make a picture in the libraries, and I showed to the person who gave me Lakshmi the bills, the shipping, and I sent it to him. He was so impressed. He maybe thought he would never see me again. It's a big money. People can do, people can do one mistake in life, take everything away. And he was very impressed. And from that man, it came more and more. And I asked him if he has somebody. He sent me once to Korea, once to Taiwan. And I like that. In past few years, I got like a little bit, almost 800 Lakshmi for 800 cents. And these were distributed to all the universities. The universities are large. 10, 20, 30, 40,000 students. And that books are going to stay there for 100 years, available, vibrating the transcendental potency, and people are going to get slapped from them, even if they don't read them. When they pass in a library, they will just feel that, it will go to their heart. So this is the biggest kick. I can actually say, maybe in my whole book distribution, career, I don't know, book distribution days, because it's really an impossible place, but with Krishna's mercy, everything becomes possible. That verse is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita when we were beginning book distribution, then we were being taught of that how it goes now, where anything impossible becomes possible, and anything opposite, I forgot, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So I was witnessing that Krishna, Prabhupada says that the management means to make something where there is nothing, and this is what happened, that these books went all over, because devotees in China never tried, but the Mahaprabhu has his own plan, and he did it. He did it for all of us, And yeah, it's again, everything was devotional service in difficult situation, because you didn't have support, and the people won't do that. They don't want to move. But every place in the world we came, we had difficulties, including India. Opposition was everywhere there. Every single place we had to go to the courts. 1975, more than 100 court cases in America, everywhere. And then if we do that step, we show our thieves, we become revolutionary. And then when they attack us, then it's the beginning of their fall. And China people couldn't understand that. It was too much for them to show, to go on the street, distribute books, let police catch us, let police beat us. Then Krishna will come and kill them all. But they can't understand that. But that's how it is. You need to do it, and then Krishna will protect you and eliminate the demons. That's how it is. So the China days are generally in the good memories. It was short. It didn't make much impact, because as soon as I left, devotees are too busy there and too unorganized. Things immediately deteriorated little by little. Those devotees who were always like, you need to call them and push them, they immediately left. Nobody could do that because they're busy. So it's true that to make devotee takes a gallons of blood, and you have to absorb all their nonsense when they come, and that misconceptions when they have, and they vomit on you, and you have to argue with them and deprogram them. It's so difficult. But we live for others. That's the Vaishnava. We live for others. And that's why we have to do that, because Prabhupada is pleased. Prabhupada has done that, and Prabhupada wants us to do that. In Bhagavatam, when Maharaj Parikshit is cursed, he said, I don't care, but 3 things are important for me in my next life: service to the Lord, friendship with the devotees, and mercy to the fallen souls. So all this, we go to Goloka. We don't go to Goloka unless we have a mercy. We may not have mercy, but we may pretend that we have. We can go out and pretend we are compassionate. No, that will be enough. But without that, no Goloka. It's just a nice joke. But we're not going to Goloka without Jiva Doyam. So it's a very good, very good thing to practice Bhagavad Gita in practical, to go for book distribution. It's a wonderful thing. We learn everything. All the verses sit on its place while doing Bhagavad Gita, because it's the highest yoga, to be out and doing books, dealing with people's mind. It's the highest of the yogas. Okay.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Any question?
Any question? No questions.
Huh?
No questions.
They are a little shy. They are shy for questions. Haribol Pranam.
Jai, Gokum Chana Prabhu. Jai.
They are shy for questions.
Acha.
But you come when you are in India, come visit us a little bit, and apart from question, there will be some dosas also,
Yeah. You know what happened? I went to Rangaji temple. I asked if they have dosa. I said, I'm missing. He was laughing. Some Kanchipuram Pujari. His name was Murli Krishna, he said. I don't know if this is Tamil. Maybe he changed his name in Vrindavan. He told me you come at 12 for idli dosa.
Thank you so much. You're very inspiring. Your speech was very inspiring and your life is very inspiring. Maharaj is, Prabhupada is pleased with you. So please do, come a little bit, give some association. Be kind to us, slipping soul.
I'm in the process of recovery and all of you bless me. I have some new destinations in mind. exciting destinations now again. I'm Rasika Bhakta.
That's good.
Joking.
Yeah, waiting for new report.
Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Thank you for inviting me.
Jai Hari Bol.
Glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare